Oh, it's got a nice little thing that pops up and says you're live now.
I love it. Oh, wow.
Reordered that, Dave? Look at that.
Look at me reordering stuff.
I didn't need to be at the top. It's nice to be there.
Tobe show now.
No, okay, put me back on the top. Don't get silly with it.
Hey, we're live on LinkedIn already. That was really fast today.
Yeah, it's speeding up. The quality's better on LinkedIn lately too. Did you see that?
LinkedIn is
like the video quality, image quality.
Yeah, video quality. Yeah, video quality.
I didn't know
What other quality?
Our voices sounded.
Oh, I don't know.
Smoother, more buttery.
Ooh. No, I'm always on mute on LinkedIn so that I can watch it here and make sure things are working.
Wouldn't it throw you off because it's like 10 seconds behind?
Yeah, well, I'm not watching it. I'm watching you.
Oh.
I just have it here. You know what I like to see on LinkedIn? It happens more on LinkedIn than YouTube, but users come in and then immediately drop. And I just feel like they're probably like, oh, what's going on? This is awful. And then they just and then they're gone. I see it happening. It's funny. I'm like, oh, someone clicked on the pop-up on LinkedIn, and then they'll immediately
nope.
That was a mistake.
Like, who are those?
Yeah, what did I do? As a logged in LinkedIn user, the video quality is better. Oh, look at that!
Wow,
that's
Dave is all in fall gear.
Oh yeah, he's cozy.
We were just talking about how chilly it is around here now.
It is, man. I was just on a call and I was shivering the whole time. It was embarrassing. A little like that the whole time. I finally had to turn the heat on up in here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till October to turn on my heat.
Let us know how that goes.
I'm still. Yeah.
The low today is 47. Enjoy.
Whew, that's cold.
Yeah. All right. Think we should play ourselves in here.
Let's do it.
With our amazing countdown video. I did hear some complaints that the 30 seconds is long. We get it. You want to see more of us, but in faster. But we don't know how to create one that's less than 30 seconds. And this comes with the tool, so we get what we get. Don't throw a fit. Toby was getting down in the background. You can see the background, right? Toby, you can't see us, right?
No, I cannot.
Dave and I can see because we're both logged in as admins.
So concert.
That is absolutely wonderful. All right. Welcome, everybody, to Friday 15. It's our time to talk about current events. At least that's what the format's been the last couple of weeks here.
Mm-hmm.
I got to say, I don't know if everyone feels the same, but I kind of want to do a bracket at some point.
I was just about to say that there's some requests for the brackets again.
Who's it? Is the request been from your squad or is it request been from others?
I can speak for my squad to say yes, they would like a bracket, but I have also heard the request from outside of my squad.
All right. I like it. Maybe we should have a little I don't know, a poll to figure out what we might want for a bracket. You just smurfed out on us for a minute there, Toby. The camera likes to flicker blue every once in a while. Yeah.
Smurfed out.
That's 100% right. So the LinkedIn notifications are kind of cool because if you're on LinkedIn, it pops up. But for our Labs Live now, we do the RSVP'd event. Just a quick plug. And so if you do that, then it puts it on your calendar too, I think, right?
Oh yeah, fancy.
Yeah. Well, we're improving every day. So shall we jump into things?
Let's roll.
Let's do it.
All right. I have to turn my notifications off because every time I'm like, oh, I don't need to turn my notifications off, I get notified. All right. This is kind of like announcement edition Friday 15, right?
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. Before we get into it, Will has a really great point here. Bracket to determine the next bracket.
That's not a bad idea.
Ooh, that is interesting. I think 3 people will tune into that, but I'd like maybe that's like a Thursday evening stream at like 11:30 in the evening to do that.
Like Thursday night football.
Yeah. You know, it's also great, Toby. You're frozen now too. Your video. This is
am.
Oh yeah, this is going well for you today.
Oh boy.
Just keep playing along. All right, let's see. Countdown. No, not countdown. It's the announcements. We'll get there. Toby threw me off with the frozen video. Announcements. So several different announcements this past week or so. I think probably the main one was Apple. That was on. Was it Wednesday, Dave?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
It was Tuesday, right?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah, the time flies. I got to be honest. I kind of forgot about it. I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent, but I did kind of forget about the fact that they had it. But time flies means they launched watches. So they have the new Series 6 watch, which I believe made some big news. They had the blood oxygen level sensors, which I think is cool. But I would argue that the big news here is the product red aluminum watch and the new blue aluminum watch. I would argue that is probably the big news when it comes to watches. I saw some posts by Jeff Kelly agonizing over whether he should stick with stainless steel or go to aluminum and go blue.
Jeff, let me help you both.
Toby, do you have an Apple Watch?
No, I do not. I used it one time when I was like working on iOS and I was building like a watch app at the time. And I liked it a lot, actually. I'm just not like a very big watch person. I did the Fitbit for a few months, but Apple Watch looks interesting. I think I might get back on the train, but I just haven't. It's just not my natural go-to.
Gotcha. Dave, you have one, right?
I do, yep. I wear it most of the time. Watches at times are uncomfortable, so I wear like 80% of the time, and I'm happy with it.
At the office, and like when we were in the office some 10 years ago, I liked wearing my Shinola probably more than my Apple Watch. I felt like it was less distracting. But now that we're at home, you kids, you're kind of like multitasking more in a weird way, and so I think the Apple Watch has been great. But anyways, let's get back to this. The aluminum one looks cool. The red looks cool. The blue looks cool. One little downfall: aluminum means you get the Ion X glass versus the sapphire crystal glass on stainless steel and titanium. Little known fact, or maybe well known fact, I don't know, but Ion X scratches a lot easier than stainless steel. But I have no idea if anyone's actually experienced that. That's been like one of the only reasons I've stuck with stainless steel this whole time.
Oh, interesting. My watch face is always banging on stuff.
Do you have aluminum or stainless steel?
It's a great question. I don't know, but it's held up pretty well. My previous watch did not. That had like quite a few scratches and divots in it.
Yeah, I've been impressed. I learned, because I wear my mountain biking sometimes. Ion X kind of scares me. So anyway, but they did get rid of the Space Black stainless steel, unless you go to the Hermes version. But I don't know that everyone's going to do that. So now it's graphite stainless steel. I can't quite figure out what's going on, but they do have this cool solo loop, which is neat. So no more clasp. It's like a stretchy little loop, a braided one and a non-braided one that slides on with a sized fit right there. See, I think that looks incredible.
That is really cool.
Yeah, that alone might make me do something here. All right, let's move on from the watch. Oh, we should mention they also have the Watch SE, which is the cheaper version. So I think it's it's kind of like an upgraded Series 4. Because there's a Series 3, an SE, and a 6. So something along those lines. Oh my goodness, all my devices are going off right now because I said something that has an S in it. And now every device is turned on, and that went well. It's like the only time it actually happens, like when I need it to turn on, it doesn't turn on.
It doesn't. Do you use your watch for like fitness stuff? That's what I'm most curious about, actually.
Yes and no. I find it very easy to ignore. I also found it that it's kind of neat if you go out for a run and you forget, or if you go out for a walk and you forget to turn it on.
Did you even go for a walk?
It automatically will turn on, but where it struggles is like if you're out pushing a stroller, it doesn't know if you're on a walk, so it doesn't turn on.
Oh.
Or if you're out riding a bike, it can't tell that you're out riding a bike, so it doesn't turn on. So because I forget to turn it on, then I don't know. I guess
That's a bummer.
I guess it's not an integral part of my fitness life, Toby.
Gotcha.
All right, let's move on. Apple One. We've talked about this previously, right? They bundled many services. $30 a month. I know it gets you iCloud Music, TV Plus, Arcade, Fitness Plus. I haven't. I don't know. I haven't gone in and really understood every single price point. I've heard that it might make sense at the lower price points, but then if you have like a family plan, it quickly adds up. And like I think we have 2 terabyte iCloud ready, so I got to see where that fits in. But it's still kind of neat because subscriptions can get a little unruly. Like Dave's TV subscriptions that he has all of them.
And like I want like. I think is if you use Apple Music, I can see the value or like the fitness stuff. It's not terrible. But like for me, I'm trying to see like which services I use here. The only one I'll probably pay for here is like iCloud. And I'm not even a heavy iCloud user. I use mostly Google Cloud for my stuff.
You're like an iPhone user that only uses Google, aren't you? Because you have YouTube Music.
I do, but I also, breaking news, I also have Spotify now. So,
oh, that is breaking news. Thanks. That was incredible. Thanks for that. It's interesting. I'm kind of curious. Why don't you have an Android? So you're using.
Oh, I used to. Oh, let me tell you, like let's make a long story short. I used to be a huge Google and Android fan, and even like loved everything Google. And then I started working at labs and started doing a job that was iOS development. I was like, it only makes sense for me to transition my allegiance to Apple because that is what is paying the bills. That was when I was in college. That's when I made the switch from, but I still love Google products in general. But I'm a late fan of Apple.
Yeah, I found that if you're a big Google products fan, being on iPhone is almost like a little disservice because their iOS apps are just not great.
Yep, it's a struggle.
I've been trying to use my iPad as so if I'm not at my iMac, if I'm around the house, I've been trying to use my iPad instead of my laptop and things like Google Docs. It's legit.
It's painful. Even Google Keep is a struggle, and now I'm having to switch to like just the Notes app, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting. David brings up this point here. Yeah, we have 2 kids. One, the reason we have Apple Arcade is because of him. That is the one thing that intrigues me. I just have to figure out what we're paying for iCloud already at 2 terabytes, and then factor in Apple Arcade. Try to watch Apple TV Plus. I don't think it's for me. Nothing against it. All right, let's move along. Apple released all of their operating systems. Which is somewhat unique because typically the operating system comes along with the new iPhone. I think this will be maybe the first time it hasn't come with the new iPhone. Someone may correct me, but so we've got iOS 14, iPad OS 14, Watch OS 7, and then TV OS 14. I've been running beta iOS 14. I mean, pretty much since Dev Beta 1. And I'm impressed. Have you been running either of you?
No, I'm about to get the new one today. Dave has.
I have been running the beta for iOS 14, iPad 14, I think, the TV OS, the Watch OS, and Mac OS. And they've all been incredibly stable.
It's kind of remarkable.
Yeah, it's a big change from previous betas I've put on my devices for sure.
It's interesting. There was a big push that Apple is going to redo their entire software development process lifecycle, and it's hard to do that in a company that big, and they must have, because I have never experienced a beta as smooth as iOS 14. And in general, it's nice to have widgets. And I know Android users are going to be like, "Oh, we've had widgets forever." We get it. You have, but we have them now, and that's nice. I have a Pixel here, and I love my Pixel, and I love the widgets on that. And in some ways, the operating system on the Pixel is far better than iOS, but we have widgets finally.
What have you loved since you've been running the betas? What have you enjoyed using the most?
This will probably sound trivial, but I love the widget for the weather. I mean, that is something that is completely baked into the Android operating system. Like, you don't even need a widget, and it's already there. But the fact that it's there in iOS finally is fantastic. I also like that they purchased Dark Sky. So now I have Dark Sky data, like the hyperlocal.
I love that.
Yeah, I have that as a widget, and I think that's fantastic. So
that's awesome.
That's what I've enjoyed. Apple's already also put out some new hardware, the new iPad Air, which looks like a iPad Pro, but I think it has colored back too, right? They got a couple.
Yeah,
little fun.
I think like my favorite feature about it was like the Touch ID is like built into the power button, so you don't have two buttons to like unlock and one to like power down. So I thought that was it's like a very small thing. I understand that, but it's just like it feels cleaner than the iPad I have right now.
Yeah, I dig that because Face ID actually works better than I thought on the iPad, but it would be kind of nice to have an option for Touch ID too. I mean, if I didn't have to double click the side button to do Apple Pay, that would be nice.
Yeah,
I feel like that is a trivial complaint, but
there are many times I mistakenly would like want to do that and maybe even take a screenshot or like just power down, like, just like stand by. And I was like, no, I was just trying to double tap and now my screen is blank.
Yeah, I'd like that to be better, but such is life, Toby. But either way, a lot of big announcements from Apple didn't affect their stock price. Actually went down. So that'll be interesting to see what happens when the iPhones actually do come out. Which I'm hearing those will be announced sometime in October. So we'll see how that pans out. All right, let's move along to Facebook. Toby, you wanted to add this. I kicked and screamed. You demanded that we talk about Facebook. They have the new Oculus Quest 2 coming out. Tell us about that.
So the Quest 2 is like a smaller, more powerful Quest. I think you have experience using the Quest right now, and it's just I think they're moving. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I've got a couple different Oculuses now, but I think the one. You get the real cheap one with just the click that you have to recenter all the time. But then I think I have the original Quest.
Yeah, this is great because it's smaller and now they have this stability headgear thing that would make it like less painful for you to wear it for a long time. So like I like that about it. And I also it seems like they're moving away from that, like connecting your VR to a PC behavior, because I just think that would like not scale.
Yeah.
This is good.
The Dave, if you go back, the Beat Saber, keep going.
Oh yes,
right there. That's remarkably entertaining.
Oh, nice.
Slightly embarrassing though. I tweaked my back playing it one day. I was like really excited, and I was getting after it, and then I was like, oh. And then I made sure I popped the headset off, and I'm like, "Oh, good, no one's in here seeing this."
Did you see a comment? Someone is watching on the Quest. Wow.
How is it? So if you're watching on the Quest, I tried to watch some stuff on the Quest, but there's that screen door effect. So the pixel density is not great on the original Quest, at least. So the resolution, whatever, and so you get like this, like you're looking through a screen door. It's almost like you see every individual pixel, and so that part gets a little nauseating. But I didn't know we were available on the Quest. I guess a web browser is, so we would be. Anyways, all right, Quest 2. That's certainly exciting. Let's see. And Toby, you were talking about that they wanted to turn the Quest into a fitness device.
Yes, like you just gave like an example of like games like the Beat Saber or something, and to be able to like track all those things and maybe like you're staying fit, but like without like
Oh, I'm definitely
maybe like boring exercises, but like you're just having fun with your VR device, doing this, doing that. And like it would like track maybe how many calories you burnt and stuff like that. And for some reason, I've always just felt that like there's so much promise in a product like this, but I don't know why it hasn't gained as much traction as I would hope for it to get.
because you have to wear a headset and you have to have space to do it in. It's I don't know. The Oculus is awesome. The Quest, the one I have, whatever it's called, and it is really cool. It is very immersive, and I used it for a week and a half. I was excited that whole first week and a half, though. I got to tell you, Toby.
I remember.
Yeah, it's very, very excited. But now it sits in a bag in my drawer back here because it takes time. Like you have to put aside time and then move toys out of the way because your kids take up entire rooms. So you move toys out of the way just to play, just to step on that one Lego you missed. So.
Yeah. Does it matter that like the VR, just because of how enclosed that is, not a shared experience? So like let's say like if you're in a house, like let's say you buy an Oculus for your house, only one person can play at a time.
No, that's exactly like how I like to play my games.
Gotcha.
Like one person, just everyone get away from me. That's my time. You don't get many activities like that in your home. So it's I don't know. I'll probably end up buying this though. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it looks so cool.
If anybody wants a graveyard of VR equipment, come to my house. All right, let's go. Let's move from VR to AR. Tell me about Project Aria.
Facebook is partnering with, I think, the companies that make Ray-Bans to like launch like a AR product in 2021. It kind of seems like it in the looks of things. It looks like what we say like the Google glasses of before and all of that stuff. But they seem to have taken a very patient approach to building this because I think this project has been ongoing for a long time. And with the right marketing, with Ray-Bans and all of that kind of branding, it might like be maybe that hardware elusive product that Facebook had never been able to make. Similar to like how Amazon was able to just find space in everybody's houses with those speakers that in the beginning didn't seem like they were going to be a big thing.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how refined and what they've learned from like Google Glass and how they can do something different in 2021. But of course, it's still Facebook, and Facebook doesn't have a lot of trust with people. So I don't know if that would affect things as well.
Except with you. But we are I do want to mention the Infinite Office in a sec here, but J.R. Smith on YouTube, wondering if we do answer questions from YouTube chat. Yeah, if you have a question anywhere, YouTube chat, LinkedIn chat, throw it in there. As long as we don't miss it here, we'll bring it up on the screen and we'll answer to the best of our ability. So Toby, they've got Quest, they've got Project Aria. They're changing the way we view the world in so many creepy and weird ways. Facebook. But tell me about the Infinite Office. This seems like a great opportune time to launch something like this.
Yeah, it's like a product like in VR, like a virtual reality office space. So I think to simulate your office environment, but in VR. And it, as you said, like right now is like the time to launch it. But again, it's kind of, I don't know how many people would want to do that. I think there's a lot of promise. I think it still comes down to like marketing and how they're able to sell it. Like if they go like the enterprise route, let's say they reach out to companies to say like, oh, this will simulate a virtual office, it could sell. But I don't envision like me personally, for example, getting like an Oculus just for the fact that I want to work in a virtual reality office space. Just because I think last we've done a good job working remotely. But I see how people would need this. It looks really cool. I have to say, it looks really cool.
I could see it if we were creating some kind of a human connection with it. I'm not seeing a lot of that with what's going on the screen right here. I'm seeing just a different way to look at a desktop. Which okay, I mean that's good because I guess you have multiple monitors and you didn't have to buy multiple monitors Stu makes a really good point. We'd like his virtual office to be a beach. Yeah, that would be fantastic. This is interesting. Toby, I have a more cynical view on what all of these mean. I think they're all lead gen. If I were you,
you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's just to try to get everyone onto Facebook's platform and maybe give them a little good PR. It is interesting tech nonetheless. So to the teams that are actually working on the technology, bravo.
Well said.
All right, let's move on to the console wars. Maybe. So there's some big releases coming up, right? Xbox has Series S and Series X. Is that right, Dave? I would at some point like to unpack Microsoft's branding of Xbox, but I don't think we will today because it couldn't be more confusing. I don't understand. And at least PlayStation has PlayStation 5, so you know it's newer than 4. It also looks like an old Alienware computer, but at least you know what it is. So I think PlayStation 5 announced a $500 price tag. That's for the one with a disk drive. And then I think it's a $400 price tag for the digital only one. So no disk drive. You just download the games.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I play my games. Dave,
sign me up.
So, but then Xbox Series S is the cheaper one. I think that's $300, $299. Am I correct, Dave?
I'm not exactly sure, but that sounds about right for a console like that.
Yeah, and then X is the $499 price with PlayStation 5. So it'll be interesting. I read articles that said the Series X is more powerful. So I don't know if that is true. I think one of the big things everyone focused on was read-write capability, so to try to eliminate load times if at all possible. So I had read that load times would be almost none. Yeah, that would be awesome. We'll see. But I did read that Sony will have the better exclusive titles coming out. So, Toby, are you a gamer at all?
I play just one video game with my brother, and that is FIFA. And I think that's just because I understand the sport so much, so I don't have to learn anything new. I just do. That's the only game I play, and I rarely ever played solo. I think I've maybe only played solo maybe twice. But
you don't have a lot of time. So
true. Between naps and chess and all that, there's not enough. There's not enough of hours in the day.
Dave, you're primarily a PC gamer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any consoles?
I have an Xbox One, I think.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a version.
It was gifted to me because my wife knew that I wanted to play one game and one game only, and it's Red Dead 2.
I mean, that's a damn good gift for that. Even for that reason, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But then it came out on PC, so now it just collects dust.
So you just slammed it on the ground and said, "I don't junk in for." Thanks for the gift.
I didn't say it like that.
Oh, okay. All right. I got the PS4 Pro, and it's pretty good. I can't handle the updating of the games that happens. Right. The
because of the size of the updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're huge now.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. It's like Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty. I do really well on the weekdays, but then on the weekends, I don't do so well because I think that's when the younger participants are on there and make me feel old. Yeah, but so I would say I'm more of a casual gamer, but I fire it up and it's like a 30 gig update. So
can't they just do silent midnight updates like iOS?
Well, we could unpack the fact that iOS doesn't do silent midnight update. What are you talking about?
Oh, they don't?
Automatic updates, they take 2 weeks before they happen. Anyways, that's a whole nother thing. I downloaded my Watch OS 7 and then I put everything on the charger thinking it would install overnight. Automatic updates, right? Woke up in the morning, had to install it. David asked us, do we have a VR AR side? I would say we have many folks passionate about the technology that play with the technology. We don't have any active projects related to the technology. It's not to say we wouldn't. I think what the interesting thing is with everything going on in the marketplace right now, you're seeing a focus on critical technology more so than maybe experimental forward thinking. And so I think VR and AR will come back. From our standpoint, I can only obviously talk about what we see, what we hear. But certainly people are interested in it. I like audio AR, but that's probably a different topic for a different day, since I just noticed that we're at 30 minutes. Dave, we got to get rid of we got to get rid of the Friday 15 branding. I don't think we've hit 15 minutes in the last 2 years. So
X over it.
Yeah.
Just be the Friday.
DL Friday.
Not a bad brand. Friday.
I think it's owned by the calendar.
No.
All rights are on the calendar. We have to ask.
No, I did hear a company called Monday.com. I've seen Ruby Tuesdays, TGF Fridays.
Just listing restaurant chains now. All right.
It's yours for the taking.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Get the last story in here.
Yeah. We're gonna. Yes, Mary Beth. It is the Friday 50 because we can't stop talking. We do only have one story, but I do want to mention, I thought it was interesting. Both Microsoft and Sony, they did pre-orders for the consoles. And at first I was like, why are you doing pre-orders? Like, this doesn't seem like something. But then it made me really think about how difficult it is to get a console right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everyone is gaming. Gaming has, this is launch consoles are always loud and they overheat. I think it's interesting because
good for the winter.
Great timing. It's not incorrect, right? I mean, this is they're packing as much as they can into a form factor, and they probably don't perfect it until a couple mid cycles in. So you're probably talking about 2-3 years from now when they do a mid cycle one. So not incorrect there. I just hope that the power supplies are built into them instead of having a power brick. That's my only answer. I mount mine on the wall up here. Actually, Stu, you mentioned I think they had a whole thing yesterday where I saw the CTO of Shopify tweeting to NVIDIA to try to help them out in some way, shape, or form. So it's kind of incredible what's going on with gaming. But I guess my point on the pre-order was I really hope that they find a way to view the pre-order amounts and then scale production, compared to that, to make sure that the demand can be met.
You're suggesting that there's a science behind this supply chain? I don't.
Well,
that sounds very optimistic.
Well, that is. Well, I think there is actually, but I think it's different than what I'm saying. I think the move. I think the move is intentionally limiting the amount of consoles. That was the big thing with the Wii back in the day. Intentionally limiting the amount of consoles to keep that hype strong. If there's one thing I know, Toby, is how to intentionally limit a product like sneakers behind me to keep the hype strong. So keep that hype going. Then you're all excited because, someone just got them in stock. I got to go get them. I remember the Xbox 360 was like that when it came out.
That was our idea when we say Friday 15. It's limited to 15 minutes, but then we get the hype going. Then you join.
Yeah.
And then it's 30 minutes.
Yeah. And then you're like, I think I'm going to miss out on this. Oh, wait, there's another hour. I'm fine.
Don't worry about it. We'll keep going.
Don't worry about it. We'll be here until tomorrow. All right. Let's talk about one more thing, unless you had anything else to add to the gaming. I'll take the silences. No. Spotify is adding virtual events. You think what do we think? Is it concerts, Toby?
It seems so.
I have Spotify open right now. I'll tell you exactly what it is. And
it looked like it said wallflowers, by the way. I was like, they're back.
It's not as rich as I thought. So there's a new section in Spotify under Browse called Concerts, and it just lists artists. Maybe they built on it, but what I'm seeing is a list of artists having concerts nearby, like Pitbull, for instance.
Yeah.
Oh, Pitbull is in Detroit.
He's Mr.
Winthrop. He's across the river. in
Oh,
Canada.
wow.
But
We
it's
can't
really
have
just
things.
it's linking to their material. But there's an upcoming virtual concert. So I guess I'd have to experience this before I could really speak to the difference. But
This is really where I remember watching Intel give a presentation with the NBA in Vegas during CES, one of the many years that we went. And this is actually something where VR could be a big deal. That experiential piece of what VR brings, I think something like this would be a big deal. Dave, how do we get a listing for virtual events on Spotify?
that's a great question. Are you thinking we would start to produce this show as a VR experience?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We need to see around Toby's room. It's
Yep.
the only way we can truly enjoy this show.
All of us in very like rudimentary 3D,
Yeah, oh yeah.
like an old MTV video or something.
Yeah, it's going to be really fantastic. Take on me. You know when it goes in there? Yeah. See, we can do it. It's a concert. All right. I think that's all we have on our list, right?
That's it.
Toby,
That's it
Dave,
for the Friday 50.
before we do, yeah, it is. It's Friday 36. Oh, that's don't tempt us, David. Don't tempt us. We might have to do it. All right. Well, that being said, we'll wrap up the 36-minute broadcast here. And just a reminder, September 23rd, correct, Dave? 1 p.m.?
September 23rd, 1 p.m. Eastern.
We have Jackie and Karen joining us to talk about remote hiring and remote onboarding, right? New world we're in. Pretty sick of hearing that, but teams still need to scale, projects still need to get done, and people are starting to hire. I would call it the hiring freeze is now on a thaw. And, it's confusing and hard to kind of figure out what to do now that everyone's remote, right? Like, how do you actually do that hiring process? How do you make sure team members can succeed, be successful, and be happy on their new projects? So that'll be a good conversation. So don't forget to go to our LinkedIn page. We'll have a link show up in the comments here somewhere. I'm sure Elise will post it at some point here. And then you can click on that, go to it, RSVP. Don't forget to tell your friends because it's always a good time. Dave, I saw you had a little co-host scampering.
Such a cute dog.
Yeah, Mason normally has hot breath on the back of my leg over here, but I had to lock him out. He's getting a little annoying today. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
See you, everyone.